2-hour drive away from Bacolod, plus about an 8-kilometer trek from Sagay, through a rough mountain path and seemingly endless fields of sugarcane, lies the idyllic sitio of Malipayon. In Ilonggo, Malipayon means cheerful, and true to its namesake, no matter the time of day, the residents of the sitio always seem to have a pleasant smile to greet you. A community composed of 80 families, the residents used to gather on Sundays in their small place of worship dedicated to Santa Cruz. The children would join 300 other kids in the barangay to attend a K-6 elementary school. The scene is entirely different from the urban centers we're used to seeing. Their simple homes are built far apart from one another, separated by wide fields of sugarcane or pastures for grazing goats and carabaos. Come nighttime, the area becomes even more eerily isolated as darkness covers an otherwise cheerful community.
Kay halin sang una, mga sobra gid sa sir, mga 100 years plus nga wala gid sa nakabaton ang ini nga lugar sang kuryente.
While it does not make living impossible, residents recount the everyday struggles of not having electricity.
Nakita ko ang the actual scenario of the school na wala kaming kuryente, walang elektrisidad. Nahirapan kami sa paggawa ng mga formas at gumawa ng mga bagay to develop the learning of our children.
But a ray of bright optimism still shines through the disposition of the residents of Sitio Malipayon.
On or before November 15, magkakailaw na kayo.
With their sitio nearing its date of energization, residents suddenly talk of possibilities and opportunities, a future colored by plans and activities as can only be facilitated by electricity.
Sa tingin ko siguro malayo namin mararating ang mga bagay pag walang kuryente, lalo na sa ngayong panahon na ang lahat ng mga ginagamit ng mga tao ay computer na, and we considered as a day of the computer. So therefore, if we don't have electricity, we couldn't do anything.
For the residents of Sitio Malipayon, the future now seems to stretch far ahead, a future that swells with music, and a future peopled by dreams, laughter, and boundless opportunities.
Importante sa mo ang magkakuryente para hapos na sa mo ang magtuon.
Dito ako ngayon, nagpasalamat in behalf sa mga tao di sa amon, nagpasalamat gid ako nga nag-abot ang amon dugay na nga ginahandom. Kag sa amon, especially gid sa amon nga President Benigno Aquino, madamo gid nga salamat nga ini siya dugay na namon ni ginapangayo kag subong nagtupa gid. Kag sa mga tao sa especially sa taga-Neyang ari subong salamat man.
Sir, salamat.
Thank you, President Pinoy! Talagang nasa daang matuwid kami ngayon kasi mayroon na kaming electricity.
In Ilonggo, Malipayon means cheerful, and it could never be as truer as when we left the sitio. Their joy endlessly rubbing on our sun-kissed skin.
Ako po si Luisa Laguyo, 49 years old, at dito ako sa Nungpolya, Poblasyon Hongduan.
The simple implements of a lone household, standing along a winding road stretch in Hongduan, Ifugao, were nothing but a radio, a 6-year-old sewing machine, and 2 light bulbs. That was all. But for Luisa Laguyo, beneficiary of the 11 millionth household connection, and who waited for electricity almost all her life, it meant everything.
Noon, talagang mahirap. Ako'y nag-aaral. Mahirap kasi walang ilaw. Yung ginagamit yung mga kerosene lang kung meron.
There was a slight chill in the morning air when we got to visit Luisa in her simple house in Sitio in Poblacion Hongduan. More than an hour's drive away from where we were billeted, the road twisting through the steep mountain ridges of Cordillera, Luisa's house stood humbly along a portion of the Tinok Hongduan Road, at a place where we thought no people would live in anymore. Below her house, a few meters down the terraced rice fields, was where her aging parents live, and where Luisa descends a steep rock staircase to occasionally tend to a patch of vegetable garden.
Nagtatanim ng mga gulay, mga pechay, beans, mais, dala sa market. Yun, konti-konti lang ang kita namin dito.
Theirs was a life far from being convenient. At 49, Luisa admitted to spending almost all her life in darkness, making do with what the family only had and waiting for something they felt would not really come in their lifetime.
Kung pupunta ka din sa ospital na walang ilaw, hindi nila ginagamit yung x-ray, ganon. Kung yun ang kailangan.
While working overseas from 1994 to 2009, Luisa admitted that she earned a little more than she used to. But little did she know that the life she left in the chilly mountain village of Hongduan would be the same life she would return to in 2009.
Noon, nung may namatay, di walang ilaw na nga. Yun lang, panggatong ang ginagamit na pang ilaw.
Today, 3 months after Sitio was energized, we find Luisa sitting in front of her sewing machine. On the table is a small radio, punctuating the cold air with a familiar rhythm. While beside her, we find a bin where she keeps a clump of other fabrics she has just finished altering. It is a life she never imagined would happen, remote as their place is from the urban centers of Cordillera. But Luisa learned how to wait and work hard enough to know things get better in time, and that life holds countless possibilities for someone who knows how to hope and persevere. After a fresh batch of fabrics has been sewn in with new edging, we find Luisa attending to her small sari-sari store, which she was able to put up after her community was energized. She says she is happy spending her time this way, as though there was never a time when she thought her life could be as rose-colored as it is now.
Hindi ako mananaig pag walang kuryente. Ako ay nagpapasalamat, karoon kami ng ilaw. Tapos ngayon, maraming may cellphone. Kahit anong oras ginagamit. Ako ay nagpapasalamat sa mga tumulong na nagkaroon kami ng ilaw dito.